So you've moved into that new rental property and you can smell mould, or worse, you can see it. If you live in the state of Victoria, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, I'll just go to VCAT and file a complaint against the landlord or the property manager. But it's not so simple, and we're going to be discussing a recent residential tenancies case, which I'm going to link in the description to this particular podcast. But I want to give you a 5-point checklist that you can use if you think you have mould in your residential tenancy property. So the first thing is to identify the signs of mould. Now, mould is usually found in damp or humid areas. You might already be able to see it, but if you can't see it, look in all of those wet areas at your property. It is really important, and this is the checklist point number 2, that you notify your landlord and property manager. So once you've identified mould or even the suspicion of mould, it is essential that you notify the landlord and property manager as soon as possible. Now, you can do this on the phone, but I suggest you always do it in writing, and that you make sure to include detailed information about the location and the extent of the mould growth. Then you want to request an inspection. That's number 3. Your landlord or property manager must arrange for an inspection of the mould within a set time period. Now, if they fail to respond, you can obviously contact the Tenants Union of Victoria or Consumer Affairs for assistance. And number 4, there needs to be a follow-up on repairs. If the inspection confirms the presence of mould and its cause is due to the building structure or a level of disrepair to the property, then it's up to the landlord to fix these issues. Now, the tenant is also going to have to make sure that the property has been maintained in a reasonable state of cleanliness, and that means adequately ventilating the property and making sure that there isn't any malicious damage. And number 5 of the checklist, make sure you keep records. It's really important that you detail every form of communication between yourself and your landlord or property manager, including details of any inspections, repairs and results, because this information is going to be necessary if there is a dispute between you and the landlord or the property manager, or you need to lodge a complaint with Consumer Affairs, or worse, take this matter to VCAT. Now, I mentioned that you should make sure that you are aware of the difficulty in a sense, getting justice under the Residential Tenancies Act. Now, there certainly have been changes which do protect the tenant in situations where there is proof of mould, but you need to prove that mould is actually a cause and that the remedy offered by the property manager and landlord has failed to address this. And I suggest that you go to austlea.edu.au, navigate to the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal section, and just key in the term mould, and I suggest you review the Cooper versus Yang 2023 VCAT order, which was published on the 19th of May 2023. That'll give you some guidelines regarding personal property and how rental arrears were dealt with in this particular case. In any case, my name's Dr. Cameron Jones. I hope that this will help someone out there with concerns for their health amenity under the Residential Tenancies Act and Regulation. Check them out. Check out this blog as well. Bye for now.